Most parents know their child's percentile. Very few know their child's potential. And that gap between marks and meaning is where so many futures go wrong. Today, parents are doing everything right. Good schools, extra tuitions, competitive exams, but the world their children are entering looks nothing like the one we planned for. Career in medicine, engineering, CA, government jobs, they are still real paths. But today, they sit alongside hundreds of others: product design, behavioral research, content strategy, data science, UX, entrepreneurship, and even influencer marketing. And yet, most students still choose based on marks, peer pressure, relatives, or just trends. Not because they're careless, because nobody gave them a better way to decide. Years later, many realize this wasn't the right fit. You might even know someone like that. You might actually be one yourself. Now imagine something different. Before your child chooses a stream, before the pressure, before the confusion, you could actually understand how they think, what they're naturally strong at, how they handle failure and pressure, what kind of environment helps them thrive, and how ready they are for the world that keeps changing faster than any syllabus can keep up with. That's exactly what SkillSphere, a career assessment by simplifying skills, is built to do. Unlike traditional career tests that ask only, what subject does your child enjoy, SkillSphere goes much deeper. It evaluates students across 5 research-backed frameworks to build a complete, honest picture of who your child actually is. Because here's the real problem today's education system isn't solving. Students are studying but not discovering themselves. Skill gaps, career confusion, standardized learning that treats every child the same. And on the other side, parents carrying constant anxiety. Will my child succeed? What stream is the best? What if they choose wrong? What if AI changes everything? SkillSphere doesn't claim to have all the answers, but it gives you something most parents never have: a clear, structured understanding of your own child. So let's get into it. What does SkillSphere actually measure? 5 dimensions: aptitude, interests and preferences, personality traits, socio-emotional intelligence, and adversity quotient. Each one tells you something different. Together, they tell you a story. So let's start with framework 1, aptitude. This is not about marks. Marks tell you what your child remembered on a given day. Aptitude tells you how their mind naturally works. Some children spot patterns quickly, some think logically, some are deeply analytical, some are fast processors, some are creative problem solvers. SkillSphere evaluates natural cognitive abilities, analytical thinking, logical reasoning, problem solving, and decision making. It draws on the Differential Aptitude Test model as its foundation. Why does it matter? Because a child who scores average in school may have exceptional real-world reasoning abilities. A child who struggles with rote memorization may still be built for entrepreneurship, product strategy, design thinking, or innovation. The report shows you your child's strongest aptitude zones, areas to develop, and how their cognitive strengths align with different career paths. Framework 2, interests and preferences. Here the question shifts from how your child thinks to what kind of work and environment naturally energizes them. SkillSphere uses Holland's RIASEC theory, 6 interest domains: realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. Some children love baking and building things. Some are natural investigators drawn to problems and research. Some are creative, some are people-oriented, some lead naturally, and some thrive in structure. Here's what many people don't realize. A child often doesn't struggle because they lack talent. They struggle because they are placed in an environment that doesn't suit them. For example, a child with strong artistic, social, and moderate enterprising traits may genuinely flourish in media branding, psychology, teaching, communication, or content creation. Instead of pushing them into careers they emotionally disconnect from, they can choose from ones they are naturally inclined to. This takes us to framework 3, personality traits. SkillSphere uses the globally recognized OCEAN model: openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. This framework helps you understand not just what your child can do, but how they show up in the world, how disciplined they are, how do they interact with others, how do they respond emotionally. Two children can have identical marks and completely different personalities, which means completely different careers where they actually thrive. A highly conscientious child may excel in structured, process-driven field. A high in openness may be built for research, innovation, startup, or creative industries. The report breaks this down visually so it's easy to understand, not just for you, but for your child as well. Next up, Framework 4, Socio-Emotional Intelligence. This one is underrated, and increasingly it's the difference maker as well. Because success today isn't only about IQ, it's about communication, empathy, emotional control, confidence, and social awareness. SkillSphere takes inspiration from the Bar-on model for emotional intelligence, measuring self-awareness, interpersonal skills, stress management, and emotional regulation. A child can be academically brilliant and still struggle with teamwork, leadership, interviews, or simply being heard. The report highlights emotional strengths, areas to develop, the practical recommendations to build social intelligence over time. The final one, Framework 5, Adversity Quotient. This possibly is the most important framework for the world your child is entering, because every child at some point will face failure, rejection, pressure, comparison, burnout. The question isn't whether it happens, it's how they respond when it does. SkillSphere uses Paul Slott's core model for adversity quotient: control, ownership, reach, and endurance. Think of two students who fail the same exam. One shuts down, convinced they are not good enough. The other reflects, adjusts, and comes back stronger. Same failure, completely different outcomes. That difference is AQ. The report identifies your child's resilience patterns, how they respond to challenges, and gives personalized recommendations to strengthen their recovery mindset. In today's fast-changing world, this is fast becoming the most important factor between success and failure. So what does the final report actually look like? It's not a list of labels, it's a complete profile. You get a full overview dashboard, career compatibility insights, strength analysis, interest mapping, emotional intelligence indicators, AQ profile, personality summary, and recommended career clusters and growth areas. The goal isn't to say your child can only do this. The goal is clarity, awareness, and the kind of informed decision making that most families never had access to before. This is the reason it is followed by a counseling session. Here's the bigger picture. Today, AI is replacing information, but it cannot replace self-awareness, creativity, emotional intelligence, adaptability, or human judgment. That's why the future of education has to move beyond what marks did your child get and towards what kind of a person are they becoming. NEP 2020 points in exactly this direction, identifying individual potential, flexible learning, skill development, and holistic growth. SkillSphere is built for this shift. If you're a parent trying to guide your child the right way, don't rely only on assumptions, trends, or what worked a generation ago. Understand your child first. Download the sample report from the link below. And if you're convinced, go ahead and take SkillSphere assessment for your child. All you have to do is register on the link given below, because your child's future shouldn't be shaped by pressure. It should be guided by potential.